Bob's Breakfast.
We don't want our food served on anything other than plates, but now the situation is out of control. You order food at different places and it shows up on all kinds of things. Darren?
Well, I took my daughter down my local boozer, like, this Saturday week. Like, I have done a few times, like, yeah, but this particular time, like, yeah, I ordered mixed grill.
Right.
When they brought it to me, like, I turned around and I said, what's that? She said, well, that's what you ordered. I said, yeah, that is what I've ordered, but why is it on a piece of wood?
Yeah.
And she said, well, that's how it comes. I said, no. I said, I'm not a caveman, sweetheart. Like, yeah, I said, Garina, like, she's a Bulgarian girl, lovely girl, Garina. I said, look, Garina, like, yeah, I said, if I was to turn this over and tip it on the table and start eating with my hands, I said, your governor wouldn't be impressed with it. She said, no. I said, well, take it away and put it on a plate.
Well, good for you, Darren.
Well, you know what I'm saying? What's that all about?
You struck a blow for common sense, yeah.
Well, I've been to places as well where they serve it up on a piece of slate.
Yeah.
I said, if I wanted to eat it off a piece of slate, I'd eat it on the roof.
Exactly. Let's get the latest news now with Chris Hubbard.
And warnings this morning of an invasion of Asian hornets.
Hornets, right.
Already said to have killed 5 people in France.
Really?
This is what they're saying.
Okay.
And now, according to one of the newspapers this morning, the beasts hunger for British flesh.
Do they really? They've now got a taste for British flesh.
That's right. I'm not entirely sure how they've made it cross the channel.
They bribed a French fisherman. Bob FM. Your kids are missing out on the childhood memories that you have. That's according to a new survey. They surveyed 1,500 parents. 87% of them said their kids are missing out on special things that they remember. I'd like to know, what childhood memories do you have that you're pretty sure your kids won't get, and why? Kerry?
Well, I think it's like the outdoor life thing, isn't it? Like, we never had computers and things like that when we were kids.
Yeah, closest we had to a computer was an Etch-a-Sketch.
Didn't even have that.
You didn't even have an Etch-a-Sketch. Okay, then a colouring book.
Well, I had that every Christmas, a colouring book and pens.
Yes. Right, and what would your kids think today if you gave them a colouring book as a present?
No, I'm on the phone.
Who are you talking to now?
That's my son.
How old is your son?
He's 15.
15? Put him on.
Yeah.
Put him on. What's
Harry?
his name? Harry.
Come here.
Here he comes, 15-year-old Harry.
Hello.
Hello, Harry. Graham Mack from Bob FM. How you going?
I'm good, mate. You?
Okay. I'm going to give you some words. I'd like to know if they mean anything to you, okay? Gladiators?
No.
Findus crispy pancakes.
What?
Yeah. Do you know what a space hopper is?
No.
How about a chopper?
So, helicopter.
Yeah, more of a chopper you could own.
Chopper.
No.
No.
Have you ever blown a dandelion clock?
Yeah. Wait, no, what? No.
Knight Rider?
No.
No. Cola cubes?
No.
Who is Enid Blyton?
I don't know.
All right, well, thank you very much, Harry. Good to talk to you.
Cheers.
Thank you. It's the longest day today, and that means that pagans will be rejoicing everywhere and stoned hippies will be dancing naked. I've never been to Stonehenge for the solstice, but I've been to a stone circle at Avebury in Wiltshire at the solstice, and it was quite interesting because they were all there, and there was like I don't know whether he was the high priest of the pagans or what, but he had a full-on stag's head on top of his head with the antlers and everything, and he was going to each side, and he was going to the north, the west, the east, and he was conducting this ceremony, and it was all, you know, pretty full on. Until later, the image was shattered as I saw him in the pub car park putting the stag's head in the back of his Nissan Micra. Tim Peake ruined my weekend. I'm fed up of seeing this fella's grinning face staring back at us from the International Waste of Space Station. This space tourist What happened was, on the weekend, I found out that he'd been given an award by Alton Towers. He's going to be given, when he gets back from his jolly, the Freedom of Alton Towers. And that was winding me up enough. And then I find out he's on the Queen's birthday honours list. They've given him an honour. I was hoping that when Tim Peake returned to Earth later this month, that we wouldn't hear any more about him. But it looks like after he gets back, we're going to have to put up with the media fawning all over him like he's some kind of hero, like he's done something special. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of space. I grew up watching the Apollo moon missions. The things they achieved on that thing were amazing. Landing on the moon, driving a car on the moon, Alan Shepard playing golf up there. What has Tim Peake done? He hasn't even left Earth's orbit. They made a big deal about how he ran the London Marathon in space. There's no gravity in space. I could run the London Marathon if there was no gravity. Do you know how high up he is? 220 miles. Not millions of miles. He's 220 miles above us. That's not even that far away. That's only the distance from where I'm sat right now to Middlesbrough. I'd be more impressed if Tim Peake had managed to survive living for 6 months in Middlesbrough. The media are treating him like he's the only person to ever fly in space. I'm sorry, but 536 people have been up there, and Yuri Gagarin first did it 55 years ago. What Tim Peake's doing is nothing unusual. And unlike the Apollo astronauts, Tim isn't actually flying the International Space Station. No one is. It doesn't fly. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't go anywhere. It's just perpetually falling. That's what orbit is. Tim Peake is just a passenger. Putting Tim Peake on the Queen's birthday honours list makes no sense at all. But I do get why he's being honoured by Alton Towers. Because all he's done is go on a long, taxpayer-funded amusement park ride.
This is Bob.
Did you know that Paula Abdul got puked on?
I'd read about this morning.
Have you heard it?
I've not heard it, no.
Oh,
no.
You're in for a treat. Paula Abdul, she's the judge on an American talent show called So You Think You Can Dance. Which sounds like it's a bit like a cross between Strictly and Britain's Got Talent. It's a dancing contest. Anyway, 12-year-old girl does her dance. Paula Abdul goes out to congratulate her.
I am so proud of you. Are you okay, honey? Okay. We okay, sir? It's okay, honey.
Are you all right?
It's okay. So sorry. It's okay, honey. It's okay.
Did I hear what I thought I heard halfway through?
Yes, you did.
Right.
Hooly dooly.
Well, you know, the girl said Abdul had squeezed her a bit too tightly.
That's what she said. The quote from the kid is, she squeezed me too tight and all the happiness came out.
I might use that in future.
It's a good save, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, if you had a big night on the Terps or something, you've been out for a night out, and you know, yes, I had a great night tonight, but when I got home, unfortunately, all the happiness came out.
This is Bob's Breakfast.
It's a big night for you tonight, Laura. You're appearing on the Graham Norton Show. It's the taping tonight. It's actually going out Friday night. You're appearing on the Graham Norton Show with Charlie Sheen. Now, that's probably a bit of a stretch. You're in the studio audience. However, they've said that if you submit a question in advance by email, that you will be able to ask Charlie Sheen the question.
Yes.
Which means you could well find yourself on the TV tonight.
Yep.
With Charlie Sheen. So we have to come up with a good question. What question can we ask Charlie Sheen? What do you reckon, Bonzi?
Does he still ride motorbikes?
I didn't realise he did.
Oh no, Barry Sheen. Keep up.
Oh, I see. No, yeah, but he is also famous for getting his leg over, though, isn't he, man?
Yeah,
hey,
exactly.
Here you go.
I'm going to give you that. Oh, dear me.
Can we use that? Is that too dirty? What do you think? Is that too... I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
You get away with it. You get away with it.
All right, and thanks a lot.
Hold on.
Bob's Breakfast.
Jeez, that was a long day yesterday. Actually, yesterday, the longest day, never felt that long to me. I've had longer days than that. So this morning we're talking about your longest day, those days when the in-laws wouldn't go home, whatever it is. The long days. What's been your longest day? Pete?
I have about 5 of them every week, Graham.
Do you really? What brings them on?
Boredom at work.
Oh dear, what do you do?
I just sit there all day on a computer, mate.
Yeah, and
Just waiting for things to happen so I can do something, you know?
Yeah, well, did you feel like yesterday, which was supposed to be the longest day, was any longer than any other day?
Yesterday?
Yeah.
No, not really.
No. So
No, just looking out the window, watching the rain coming down.
Yeah. And what kind of stuff, what kind of work do you do on the computer?
Processing orders.
Yeah.
Moving stock around.
Well, that's important work, you know.
Oh, yeah, it's important work, but I'd rather be doing your job.
Oh, well, calling this a job is actually extending reality just to... This is just farting around for a few hours in the morning, really. That's all this is. Really.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I love listening to some of the things that you talk about, you know. You're so to the point and realistic about things, you know.
There's an avocado-related crime wave going on in New Zealand right now. Since January, there have been close to 40 large-scale thefts from avocado orchards.
How are they stealing them? Are they stealing them off the trees? I'm guessing an avocado grows on a tree because it's a type of pear, isn't it? So I'm guessing, are they stealing them off the trees? Are they raiding the warehouses where they're stored? What's happening, Chris? How is this crime being perpetrated on the good people of New Zealand?
It's been raked from the tree. So somebody's going in there into the orchard with a massive rake and just literally pulling them off the tree,
right?
Grabbing the avocados and legging it.
What, on foot, or there must be some kind of vehicle involved?
Yeah, I'm guessing there must be some sort of vehicle involved as well, because 350 avocados would be quite heavy.
Yeah. But so maybe they drive the vehicle into the avocado orchard, rake the avocados off, and then drive away in a sinister crime that is known as a drive-by fruiting.
Bob's Breakfast.
We are leaving the EU. It's official. We voted to leave. Where are you on this whole thing? Sandra?
I'm shocked. Don't get me wrong, I'm pleased, but I didn't think we'd actually do it.
So you voted to leave?
I did vote to leave.
Why did you vote to leave?
Because I think the EU tell us what to do too much, and we run our country perfectly well. We won 2 world wars before we went in the EU, so do we really need them?
Well, we didn't win the world wars on our own. We were losing both wars until we got some help from the Americans.
There is that. Yeah, no, it's true. I don't know. I'm pleased we're out. I think it's going to be a big change for the country and hopefully in the right direction.
But the pound has dropped significantly, so the rest of the world doesn't think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Why? Isn't that a worry for you, that the rest of the world thinks it's a bad idea?
I don't know. I think it's all just everyone's scared at the moment. Give it a few months. It's going to take a little while, but I think it will all settle, and I think it will be for the better.
So
I hope it's going to be for the better.
Why do you think it's going to be for the better?
Because I just think so many things have to change now. The politicians have to listen. Half the country has voted to leave, and half stayed. So it's a really, really tight decision. But I think they're going to have to stand up and listen to what we're actually saying. I wasn't opposed to being in the EU.
Yes.
I was opposed to the way they were running our country. So maybe they shouldn't have gone for the referendum, but should have got more things done for us before it got to this stage, really.
What specifically were the EU doing in running this country that was affecting you so much?
Nothing affected me so much, to be honest. I just felt they were any little things put in there all, and it all goes down to silly things like shapes of vegetables, what we can sell, what we can't sell, and just silly little things. I'm not really overly into politics, so I've just gone for my gut instinct.
All right, Sandra, thanks for sharing.
The only one thing I want to know, can I still buy a euro tonight?
A euro, the lottery ticket?
Yeah.
Yeah, and let's hope that the prize is in euros and not in pounds. Because the pound's not worth as much today.
Okay.
All right, Sandra,
Bye.
thank you very much. I'm Graham Mack, reminding you that you should never ride a bicycle naked. This happened on the weekend. Hundreds of naked cyclists rode through central London. It was a protest highlighting how vulnerable they are when they ride the bikes on the road. Cyclists. Spoken about these people many times. I don't get it. Considering how aware they are of how vulnerable they are, it's odd that they're not going to wear clothes and ride bikes, making themselves even more vulnerable. You see, when cyclists do wear clothes, they don't wear protective clothing. Motorcyclists wear leather, which gives a lot of protection. Cyclists wear lycra, which gives almost no protection at all. Haven't they seen the figures? Numbers from the Department of Transport show that cyclists are 17 times more likely to be killed on the road than motorists. Surely riding naked is even more dangerous. And riding naked in a large group, that's going to cause extra problems. One of the biggest causes of road accidents is distracted drivers. Every year, more than 3,000 people are killed and around 500,000 are injured in crashes involving distracted drivers. And there aren't many things more distracting than suddenly seeing hundreds of naked people riding push bikes. Then there's the problem of what happens if they all crash into each other. Only takes one at the front to get a wobble on, go down, and all the others will pile into them. It brings an unfortunate image to mind from a joke that Billy Connolly once told on Parkinson. It involved a naked bottom being the ideal place to park a bike.
This is Bob.
We've voted to leave the EU. Anna, where are you on this decision?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel okay in a way.
Yeah.
I felt like I couldn't comment on the other things that you've spoken about this week, but I feel like I can comment on this one at least.
Okay. Which way did you vote?
I went out.
Okay.
And I was swinging. I was so torn between both ways, and I was so 50-50. And I was trying to read up about it and trying to listen to everything and find as much information as possible. And I just think I went with my gut in the end, and I felt I don't feel like the EU is working well enough. So I'm not against Europe. I'm a bit worried about being labelled, but I'm not against Europe. I'm against the way the EU works.
In what way, the way it works? What does it do that bothers you so much?
Just the way that it was... I know that people say that we have got a say in the EU, but I don't feel like our views would be taken into account as much as the other countries, the other 27 countries in there.
Did you vote in the European elections?
No, I wasn't old enough.
Oh, I see. Right, okay. How old are you?
33.
33. You weren't old enough for the last European elections? It was...
Oh, wasn't I? I don't know.
It was 2014 was the last European elections.
Oh, European election. Oh, no, sorry. I thought you meant to go into the EU. Sorry.
No, we didn't. No, the last referendum, we didn't vote to go in it. We had a referendum in 75. But,
right.
We have European elections. Is it, what is it, Laura? Is it every 4 years?
Every 5.
Every 5 years we have European elections. Do you vote in them?
No, I didn't know.
No, but, so you say you were worried that we weren't getting enough say, but when you did get a say, you didn't vote.
Ah, fair point. No, I didn't realise that you could vote for that.
You didn't even know?
No.
Okay. But all right, well, you voted to go out, and you're happy with that?
In a way, yeah. I think it'll get worse before it gets better.
Father's Day yesterday. I hope you looked after him. This morning we're talking about those times when dads have just made it special for you. The most embarrassing thing they ever did. David.
It was when I was growing up with my sister in Hatfield, and we went to St John's Youth Club up at the hilltop.
Yeah.
And my father came to pick us up at the end,
Yeah.
And you can imagine there was all these kids milling around, and he put his foot on the wrong pedal, and instead of reversing, he went straight forward into a brick wall and took at the bottom of his car, and we were very, very embarrassed. My sister wouldn't actually get in the car. She walked home.
He expected her to get in a car, he'd just backed into a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And how far a walk was it?
It was about 4 miles.
This is Bob.
We've had a weekend to kind of absorb what's gone on after we voted for Brexit. So how are you feeling this morning? Maya?
I'm alright, actually. To be honest with you, I'm not sure if I should be commenting about it, because I'm a foreigner, and English people hate the foreigners.
Oh, that's not true.
Because they take their jobs. They complain because there's too many of us.
Oh, Maya.
Which I'm not happy about it, because a lot of Polish people and foreign people work and do the jobs which English people don't want to do.
So are you feeling unwelcome now?
No, it's just, I think all this referendum wasn't a good idea, because it's going to leave the country to their own devices. Our economic's probably going to go down the hill. A recession is probably on the way. And I don't think there are going to be cheap holidays anymore. You know, we could go abroad and buy cheap stuff. I think it's going to be all bad, to be honest with you. You know, I'm not sure.
You sound really sad, Maya, and you normally sound so happy when you call up.
Oh, it's just, you know, well, it's not going to affect me, because I've been in this country for too long, and, you know, I got my mortgage and keys.
I don't think there's any talk of kicking anybody out.
No, I know, but can you imagine, let's say you got millions of foreigners. Everybody have to apply for a visa or some sort of permit to stay, most of them. It's going to take years, not 2 years. They're probably going to take 10 to 20 years, because paperwork's going to take forever.
All right, so you're not happy at all then about the whole Brexit thing?
I'm not really. You know,
right.
I think it was a bit selfish, but hey ho, I'm not. To be honest with you, what I'm really angry with, when the result has been set on the telly, neither of the winning party were jumping with joy, really. Boris Johnson wasn't really, oh God, yes, we won. He was really like, you know, walking around the police. It's just not, I don't think they thought through what might happen if. I don't think there is plan B.
We've had flooding across the home counties recently, and the majority of cases, it's a load of mud that's left in the houses. But what they've not had are 40 frogs in their toilet.
What?
This happened to a woman in Australia, in New South Wales. They had floods in the area where she lived. She'd evacuated her home following flood warnings across the state, only to return later to discover a colony of frogs, once the water had gone down, had decided to make her toilet bowl their home. It just looks grim. It looks really horrible.
It'd be bad if you went into that bathroom with a hangover, wouldn't it? You'd look down, you'd go, I don't remember eating them. Bridget?
I'm really not sure I voted the right way of hearing all the bad things, but for every good thing to stay in, there was a good thing to come out, so you didn't really know which way to go. And I stood there for ages thinking, what shall I do, what shall I do?
So you've got a bit of buyer's remorse now?
Yeah.
And what were the good things about coming out? Because we keep hearing bad things. Let's cheer us up. What are the good things we should be concentrating on?
Well, I think we'll just have more money to spend on what we should be spending it on, which is, you know, our health and everything else. But then you hear that that's not going to be the case, so I just hope it is, that they'll improve the health service and education we need to be spending it on.
Yeah.
Things like that. So I just thought if we've got more money in the pot.
Yeah, because we're not giving the money to Europe, yeah.
Yeah, and we should be able to trade with who we want, really, and, you know, all the rules that Belgium make, excuse me, we'll just make our own rules.
All right, thanks a lot, Bridget. So you don't seem over the moon, but you're hoping that things are going to turn around.
I hope so, yeah.
I'm Graham Mack, and I hope you're enjoying the podcast. If you are, make sure you share it on Facebook and Twitter, and you can subscribe at iTunes. I'm asking the questions that you're too afraid to ask, like... Is time travel real? If I could go back in time, I'd go back and kill a young Adolf Hitler. A lot of people would do the same. Some say that the fact that no one has done this proves that you can't travel in time. But scientists who believe that time travel is possible say there's no way a time traveller could go back to a time before a time machine was built. So all we know for sure is that there was no such thing as time travel when Hitler was a boy. Well, maybe now things have changed. According to the US Secret Service, a 19-year-old British man called Michael Sanford drove from California to Las Vegas on June the 18th and attempted to kill Donald Trump. Maybe Michael Sanford is from the future!
106 Bob FM.
How are you feeling about Brexit now? Bonzi?
I'm not happy still.
Oh, you're not happy?
No, I'm not really.
Which way did you vote?
I voted to stay in.
To stay in, okay.
Because I thought, better the devil you know
Yeah,
than the devil I didn't. I didn't understand too much about it.
yeah.
And, well, I just wasn't sure, so. And now, this morning's kicked off, Corbyn's going to say all this and that, and I don't really understand it, Graham.
Yeah, it's all a bit of a mess, isn't it? We just want it all to just settle down and get back to the way it was on Thursday.
Yes, but obviously I hope it don't get real bad, you know. Violence on the streets and all that, I hope it don't get that bad.
I can't see that happening, because they've actually done what the people wanted, the will of the people. I could see there being problems if we didn't exit after the people voted for us to go out. I could see it being a problem, but it looks like they are going to go through with it.
Yeah.
So I don't see what we've got to riot about, that's all, you know?
Well, there are certain factions out here that, you know, I mean, a lot of it was put down to, a lot of people voted on this because it said, you know, stop all the immigrants coming in and everything else.
Yeah, it means we can control our borders.
You're never going to stop that anyway, I don't think.
Right.
And there's people who still want to see all them kicked out. Well, there are certain groups that will cause aggro to get rid of them.
Right.
I just don't want to see that, you know.
Yeah.
I'm a peace-loving man.
So, I mean, this is, you know, this sounds like you're saying it's almost as sinister as what was going on in the 30s in Germany.
Who knows? Yeah.
Because there was a prejudice against people who had come from Eastern Europe because of conflict, pretty much the Jewish people who'd come out of the Russian Revolution and whatever.
No one ever wants to see that again.
No. So you're worried that they could get to that scale?
Well, no, I just pray it doesn't. I mean, I know there's plenty of idiots about, we know that.
Yeah.
And you just never know.
I'm Graham Mack, and I hope you're enjoying the podcast. If you are, make sure you share it on Facebook and Twitter, and you can subscribe at iTunes.
Scientists in France have been busy. They've got their top tip for female job seekers trying to get work. Wear a low-cut top. Show your cleavage. It's taken scientists to come out with this.
Scientists.
In the name of science.
In the name of science,
Yes. In inverted commas.
Yeah, I would love to have been in that meeting with all those nerdy scientists. What do you think we should study next? Well,
here's an idea.
I have this theory that if women show cleavage, they're more likely to get a job. Really, Marcel? Yes, we need to test that theory. I think you're right. Because even if it turns out that your theory is wrong, we get to look at boobs.
Well, their scientific discovery
Yes.
has found that women who apply for a position with a picture of themselves in a low-cut top
Yes.
are more likely to get the role than women wearing more conservative clothes.
Well, cosmetic surgery places now should change the way that they sell breast augmentation procedures, shouldn't they? Because, well, they've got there's that confusing A, B, C, D, double D that they use now that no one really understands. Boob jobs should come in 3 basic sizes. Small,
Yes.
medium, and I really want this job.
Bob's Breakfast.
How are you feeling this morning, Maya?
I couldn't be happier
Why are you happy?
because we had Brexit twice in a week.
Now, you're originally from Poland, so when I spoke to you yesterday, you weren't happy about the Brexit thing. You were
No, I'm
feeling
still not happy.
Okay, but you're happy because England went out of the football.
Oh, yes. They're absolutely rubbish. I'm sorry. They should learn from the migrants how to play football.
He should. They should. I reckon you could have played better, Maya. I'm a rubbish footballer. I reckon I could have played better. Oh, they were terrible. So this has made...
Absolutely rubbish.
So this has lifted it for you.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
Okay.
I'm so happy.
Bob's Breakfast.